Sorry about the lighting there. That's Jihadi Scotty. The purpose of this video is to lead you to this form on SETM to how to file information, Freedom of Information request, SETM.org, form 3.023. Okay, so goes over this, and here's the letter, and you just go and you can print this page 1 of 5, and there you go. SETM did it for you. Freedom of Information Act is under 5 USC 552. If you want to read that, you might want to make note of that. It's hard to find acts enacted into law. And also the Privacy Act is another one you need to read, 5 USC 552 alpha. So they go hand in hand. They're in the same code. Title 5, and then, so blah, blah, blah. This is just for you, and then, I mean, you can use this whole letter, actually. Just send it to them. And then at the end, though, you always want to, with the IRS, you always want to, here, look, you got the jurat here, the affiant and the jurat. So you're the affiant, sign here. Jurat is going to be a notary stamp over here. If you ever use legal paper, make sure they always stamp it above, you know, the standard 8 by 11 or whatever, because then you're going to have problems when you copy it, and then the jury is going to, you know, when you submit your stuff through the county recorder, courthouse, or whatever, they're not going to see it that it was, you know, under penalty of perjury. You're not going to see that it was a verified signature, which could be hearsay. Someone could throw it out as hearsay. It's not you, it's someone else. With all this, you know how the IRS makes you identify yourself now. If you try to move and then file your taxes, gee whiz. They send you this letter, and it'll hold up your taxes for like 9 weeks. Anyways, no worries, because you got the Freedom of Information Act. They'll ignore it, but you got it. And when they ignore it, then you might be able to have recourse under the Act. Here, there might be penalties for ignoring it. I know there's penalties. Now they have to, they are responsible for following the IRS Restructuring and Reform Act of 1998, which makes them have to follow Title 15, which is the law enacted from the Act, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Okay, and so they also have to follow this. So I would read this IRS Restructuring and Reform Act of 1998, and it says they're required to comply with the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Actually, some of the restrictions in there, and so you can, at the very least, this is an employee. This is from Section 1203, which provided the American people with, it's in this Act, Section 1203, and allegation referral form. That's fancy shit talk for, fancy legalese for complaint form, IRS complaint form, IRS employee complaint form. Very specific, goes to the tax inspector general, the tax authority, which, unless he specifically requests through proper channels, cannot look at your tax return. So he can't tell if it's been frivolous or not, or whatever. And so what else do I want to... Oh, yeah. Title 26 USC 7433 alpha. Reckless, intentional negligence disregarding the provisions within the code of the IRC, the Internal Revenue Code. Internal Revenue makes the law, creates a liability, and the IRS is just a collection agency company out of Delaware. They're not an agency. Agencies are defined in Title 5. Executive agency, military department. Oh, executive agency, that might be including the IRS. They are an executive agency. But they're not an agency. They're a government controlled corporation. I don't know if they're whatever. Who the fuck are they? They get their check from the. I know some of them get their check from the Department of Treasury, so they must be government employees. And this is how you file a complaint against them if they don't. If they ignore your Freedom of Information Act. For this example, this is the Social Security Administration's address here. I don't know if that's still their address. You might want to check up on that, but just in case, you got to know where you're sending your stuff, and then just so you can sleep at night, or actually in a court of law, make sure you get a tracking number at least. You don't have to. I don't think you have to get a signature shit. But just get a tracking number or send it, whatever, registered mail, certified mail, whatever it's called. Just so you can sleep at night, and it'll hold up in a court of law as being served, because you're serving them. 10-4, that's all I wanted to say. Go to the SETM site, check it out. Also, losthorizons.com tells you how to file a 1040 wage exempt if you're a non-government employee. You're not in a trade or business, public office, or an employee of the U.S. U.S. is located in the District of Columbia. I always say it's USC, but it's UCC 9307H, as in hotel. Got it? And that's quote unquote, United States is located in the District of Columbia. And it's really good. That never changes. They can define the U.S. as meaning different meanings. But we'll go over that later in another video. Freedom of Information Act. Okay. And you can ask them for certain things. Like, or you can tell them, be very specific. They're the robots. Tell them what to do. You want the name of the person who signed off on your frivolous response for 2013, let's say, called it frivolous. You want the name of the person who authorized that frivolous fee to be attached. It's a holdup. It's not a fee. They don't give you a bill in the mail. So that's under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act now. They have to follow that under their IRS Restructuring and Reform Act in 1998. Everybody has to follow the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act like a corporation. So the Title 15 enacted the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act in Title 15, 15 UCC. So they have to honor that like a corporation, like a corporation or a collection agency, or anybody who, like a bank, who you owe money to. They have to follow those the procedures. So they have to send you a bill for the fucking frivolous fee. Okay? At least you can pay that $5,000, and then you won't get caught up in a locked-in letter where they automatically withhold. And if they do withhold, you better damn well put 0 on your exemptions, because you don't have any government employee exemptions if you're a private wage exempt remuneration under 26-3401 alpha, paragraph 4 and 11. Got it? Okay. Thank you. Bye.